Blackmagic just upgraded your camera for free. If you own a Fuji camera, a Panasonic camera, or even a Sony camera, then chances are you just got a free upgrade courtesy of Blackmagic. Blackmagic are making their competitors' cameras better with 0 fucks given. Now that's gangster shit. Because while all these new cameras were dropping from the heavens last week, Blackmagic, as they're wont to do, just casually, just discreetly, dropped a freaking gem on them, releasing a new and monumental update to DaVinci Resolve that might completely change the way you film on the camera you already own. No new purchases necessary. Well, maybe one new purchase, but we'll get to that. The newest version of Blackmagic's editing software, DaVinci Resolve, now allows you to edit ProRes RAW natively, something which up until now had seemed like a pipe dream. To understand the magnitude of this shift, you need to know the backstory. You see, Blackmagic had been locked in a blood feud with Atomos, the developers of ProRes RAW, for years. This was some Nas Jay-Z shit circa Illmatic. Blackmagic had the ether while Atomos attempted the takeover, and it all stems from essentially the founders of Atomos founding their technology and business on the information they acquired working at Blackmagic, thus allowing them to become direct competitors to Blackmagic. Or to put it another way, Atomos went in raw on Grant Petty, and he did not appreciate it. You've heard of insider trading, but have you heard of insider raw formatting? If you want to break down on the history of this biblical beef, I recommend Frame Voyage's breakdown of the situation. But what you need to know now is that after a decade, someone squashed the beef, and that man is Tim Cook. See, Apple have a relationship with Atomos over the development and use of ProRes RAW, while also having a synergistic relationship with many Blackmagic products. And with the release of the iPhone 17 Pro, which features ProRes RAW, the cook got in the kitchen and said, "Can't we all just get along to make millions of dollars together?" Or something. I don't really know what he said, but whatever he said, it worked. Because the decade-long freeze on ProRes RAW is over, and now that you can edit ProRes RAW in DaVinci Resolve, and in fact you can edit and color grade it in DaVinci Resolve in far more impressive ways than in Final Cut or Premiere, this is the best time to switch. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, for many of us, this finally makes ProRes RAW a viable shooting format, and ProRes RAW has been made available either internally on cameras like the G8-7, Nikon Z3 and S1 II, or available via external recording to a monitor on cameras ranging from the Sigma FP to the Sony FX3 and even many Fuji cameras. But up until now, ProRes RAW has always been somewhat of a red-headed stepchild of the RAW format codec, because the editing system where you could truly make the most of this RAW format was Resolve, where it was not compatible without first buying an additional program and converting everything to CNDG files, a slow, laborious, and impractical process for many shooting scenarios. And while ProRes RAW is compatible with FCP and Premiere, both of these have very limited color grading options, thus somewhat defeating the whole purpose of filming in ProRes RAW. Now that has all changed. Just download Resolve 20.2, drag in your ProRes RAW clip, and you'll see it's readable and can very easily and simply be converted into whatever color space the camera of your choice is. And of course, because it's Resolve, these clips play back super smoothly on the timeline. Here are a few internal ProRes RAW clips filmed from the S1 II. And you can do more complicated color space transforms, etc. if you want. But even this simplified workflow from the clip can make the process very easy. Now, it may not be super obvious as to the difference between this and a regular H.264 clip, but it's really about the degree of latitude you get when color grading, as this is a 12-bit codec, essentially kind of the equivalent of Blackmagic's own B-RAW, which, as you might know, is a fantastic RAW format to work with. Again, this might not seem like a big deal to the uninitiated, but if you've been working with the regular compressed codecs of, say, a Sony FX30 or FX3, and then you upgrade to filming in ProRes RAW, well,
you're gonna see some serious shit.
Now, if you're still an FCP or Premiere user, this could well be the time to upgrade. That's right, I said upgrade. In fact, I've got a video discussing all about why you need to switch to DaVinci Resolve, and let me assure you, it's going to be way easier than you think. And having ProRes RAW in your camera is, for someone who's never used it, essentially the equivalent of getting a brand new camera capable of richer colors, more latitude, and yes, even more dynamic range. So how can you unlock the proest ProRes of them all? Well, first you need to check your camera's ability to capture ProRes RAW externally. Then you will need either an Atomos Ninja V or a Blackmagic Video Assist 12G to capture that ProRes RAW. Although Blackmagic have already made it available internally on the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, and I'm sure we'll add more compatibility to some of its other camera models in the near future. But for us Blackmagic users, it's a little less impressive because we already have B-RAW. What I hope is this means regular ProRes is coming back to Blackmagic's newer cameras, a topic I'll cover in depth in a future video. Again, it's kind of hard to stress how big a deal this is if you're not someone familiar with RAW workflows or have only filmed with compressed codecs, but this upgrade has the ability to completely refresh old cameras. Take the Sony FX30 for example, great camera, but having only compressed S-Log3 or H.264 files means I wouldn't necessarily want to film on one. But now it's got ProRes RAW. That all changes. The ProRes RAW format is kind of like 5xing the quality of any camera. I mean, think of something like the Panasonic S5, add ProRes RAW. Can you imagine what that's going to provide to an already lovely image? Fuji XS20, XH2S, they can all do ProRes RAW externally. Go back even further, Canon C300 Mark II. Congratulations, you've got RAW now. The list of compatible cameras is long. So look at it like this. You could buy a new camera and spend several $1,000s doing that, or you could, in line with my previous video, jump on the used market, get yourself an Atomos Ninja V or Video Assist and a hard drive for a couple of $100, download Resolve, record ProRes RAW externally, drop it into Resolve, and make your old camera a RAW recording beast at a fraction of the price. Now, is there any drawback to using ProRes RAW? Yes, those file sizes are going to get massive. These will be chunky clips, so you have to check both your computer and your hard drive's ability to handle that. But even just to film special, more premium projects with ProRes RAW is just a fantastic option to have. So once again, in the immortal words of Old Dirty Bastard,
"Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw."
And I don't know how y'all see it, but when it comes to the children, Savage Filmmaker is for the children. We teach the children. Shieldtubers are good, but the Savage Shieldtuber is the best. I love you all. Peace, and I'll see ya when I see ya.